Welcome to Birds Play Sports, where we weekly cover Ravens and Orioles news. We're your hosts, TJ and Jared. And in this video, we're going to be doing our pregame for Week 2 against the Cleveland Browns. Both teams that have come off a loss in Week 1, and looking to kind of right the ship of their Week 2. So this has been a very kind of sour week for us Ravens fans. We have to deal with just thinking about that Bills game and how, the usual stuff happens in that game, how, we blow a lead, how we, are way too conservative when we're up, and, just how we kind of just take our foot off the pedal. And, we have the Browns players here that kind of looking for some bulletin board material, kind of been disrespecting us in a way. And I just want to say, before we started this video, one player that I can't get off my mind is Grant Delpit. He's been talking some smack about the Ravens. And in one thing in particular, he said it's not hard to tackle Derrick Henry. And, I was looking at some clips from a game me and you went to. We went to that week 17 game, when we blew out the Cleveland Browns. There was about 2 different times in that game where Grant Delpit could have tackled Derrick Henry, but he was too slow to get to him. So, for him to say that based off his last game against Derrick Henry, he was too slow to tackle him. It seems like maybe it is hard to tackle him. And I like stuff like this, because it gives the Ravens, players extra juice. I know Harbaugh officially said he hasn't talked to the players about what the Browns players have said, but I know the players themselves have seen it. They have social media, they have Twitter. So, I like that the Browns feel confident like this because I feel like it's going to bring out a different animal in us because we already know our offense is going to be good. We put up 41 points. 40 points. I wish we did 41. We put up 40 points against the Bills. So I feel like if you're going to give that team a reason to be more mad, you're in for a rude awakening. And I feel like, we have to give it to them on Sunday. So, that's just my opening dialogue for this video. I also want to say that I would like to see Rashad Bateman get more involved in this game. I want to see how he matches up against. He'll probably be in the slot, or maybe Greg Newsome will probably, be the second, corner on him because, we imagine Denzel Ward to be covering Zay, so that he might have a tough game because Denzel Ward is really good. But I want to see Bateman, and in particular D Hop. I want to see how they're used in this game. I think they're going to be the keys. So, and Derrick Henry, of course. But going on to you, what are you thinking?
Yeah, for what Grant Delpit's saying, if he wants any advice, he can ask JLK for advice, how hard it is to taunt and then tackle Derrick Henry. So haven't seen him after he almost died the last year. So he can ask him for how hard it is to tackle Derrick Henry. But to go on to the actual game, for me, honestly, the most important player offensively is going to be Mark Andrews. He was non-existent in that game versus Buffalo. I think that he's gonna have to eat in the middle of the field for us. He's gonna need to be a safety valve because I already know Miles Garrett he's probably licking his lips thinking about, going against 77. So I know I'd be if I was Miles Garrett, so and he has the ability to just switch with guys, being like, let's switch. That's how good he is. So he killed Joe Burrow last week a few times. So if you remember that video that you
Oh
kept
yeah,
watching on Sunday, so it's going to be important for our offensive line to kind of focus on him, all game, and those short, quick passes to Mark Andrews and even Bateman, like how you said, are going to be is going to be important. But feeding Derrick Henry is going to be even more important. That's going to be a thing every week. So. And honestly, the second, if not the most important thing to me is just going to be what is the defense going to look like?
oh yeah.
Are they going to? They need. I'm gonna be real. If they don't get any pressure this week against that shitty freaking Browns
Joe
defense,
Flacco of all people. Let me just
right?
say this: as Ravens fans, we know how terrible Joe Flacco turns to under pressure. I mean, do you know how many second and tens I've seen Joe Flacco get the slightest bit of pressure and boom, it turns into a third and 13. And we let me tell you something. We do not gain any yards close to getting the first down.
Yep.
It's
We'll run
punt
it on third
central.
13 or something like that.
Yeah, that's the old Ravens used to do. All you need to do is just get pressure. And the Browns offensive line, I don't even know. I don't know. I can't name anybody. I don't know anybody they have. So
Yeah. If we can't
this
get
is a
pressure
good
this
get
week,
back
that's
game for them.
concerning. I'll
Yeah,
say that.
this is a good get back game for Travis Jones, Matt BK. Yeah, we even throw John Jenkins out there and Mike Green.
Yeah, I agree. Like if we can't get pressure this week, we got a problem on our hands. I'll tell you that. We got a problem, and I mean that. We got a problem on our hands. So can we get pressure before? That's the big thing this week. Like how I said last week, because we didn't. So trenches. Poor trench play is going to lose you a lot of games, especially against teams like this. So offensive line, defensive front, those need to be the strongest units on the field on Sunday, in my opinion. So, you want to get into some stats here, and then we can give our predictions at the end of it.
Let's go. My apologies once again, guys. I'm feeling under the weather, so just getting
No
through that. But
excuse. Lock in. No, I'm kidding.
I'm
I'm
gonna
kidding.
get I'm gonna get Miles Garrett on you.
Get Miles scared on me. You're gonna put me in his graveyard for Halloween.
Yep.
Um,
I
so
missed this website.
I know me too. So we get a chance to use it last week. So anyways, move on to Cleveland. And their offense. They average 16 points per game. They average 327 yards per game. They average 0.255 or 0.225 yards points per play. Oh, I forgot to mention, they're 22nd in points per game and they're 14th in yards per game, 24th in points per play. Obviously, you can read, but yards per play is at 4.6, which is 22nd in the league. Their third down conversion rate is at 56.25%, which is third in the league, actually. Their fourth down conversion rate is at 66.67%, which is 14th in the league. Their red zone scoring touchdown percentage, touchdowns, is also at 66.67%, which is 10th in the league. They average two touchdowns a game, which is 13th in the league. Does that mean they got a safety in the game?
Yeah, I think they did get a safety in that
Did they
game.
get a safety?
I
That's
believe
funny.
so.
That's pretty funny. But anyways, their rushing statistics, their rush play percentage is at 33.80%, which is 28th in the league, so they're not going to be rushing it a lot. I believe they lost Nick Chubb to the Texans as well, so I don't even know who their starting running back is right now. But yards per rush is at two yards per rush, which is 31st in the league. I wonder who's worse. Who do you think is worse?
The Panthers probably
You think so? All
or
right,
the
well,
Titans.
maybe the Saints. But anyways, their rushes per
Oh,
game.
Saints.
The rushes per game, they ran it 24 times last week, and that's 20th in the league. Their rush yards per game is at 49, which is 30th in the league. Their rush touchdowns per game is at 1, which is 7th in the league. Their passing statistics, pass play percentage is at 66.20%, which is fifth highest in the league. Their completion percentage is at 68.89%, which is 50th, I mean 50th, 15th in the league. Their yards per pass is at 6.4, which is 17th in the league. Their passes per game is at 45, damn, which is fourth in the league. Their pass yards per game is at 278, which is fifth in the league. Their interception thrown percentage is 4.44%, which is 27th in the league. At the times their QB has been sacked percentage is at 4.26%, which is 14th in the league. And I mean, we don't have to read all that, but so definitely their offense is a struggle to watch. Especially you got old ass Flacco back there. That's going to be an adventure. We really should be sitting on him all game. We should have like 8 sacks on Sunday, but I guess we'll see. But I think that our defense, this is definitely a good game for them to get back on track as the season progresses. On forward. So, you want to read off the defense for me?
Yeah, I thought you said the Browns offense was deaf at first, but
Yeah, deaf
going
to
on to the
watch.
defense. Going on to defense. Their opponent points per game is 17th, which is ranked 12th so far. Their opponent yards per game is 141. So that defense is good. They look good against Cincinnati. A second. Opponent points per play is 0.347, which is 18th in the league. Opponent yards per play is 2.9,
Damn.
which is second. Opponent third down conversion percentage is 50%. Dead at 50%, which is 21st. And the opponent red zone scoring percentage is 66.67, which is 18th. Opponent touchdowns per game is 2, which ranks 10th. When it comes to the rush play percentage is 46.94, which is 21st. Opponent yards per rush is 2 yards per rush. The Bengals really could not run the ball on them. Is
Neither of the teams could. Look, it's 2-2. So
the opponent. Wow, wow, that's saying a lot for the Bengals defense. Then, wow.
not
Um,
really. I don't think it is. I think that the Bengals defense just they're playing Joe Flacco. Who they play this week? The Jaguars.
Jaguars.
I bet you Trevor Lawrence airs them out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. They don't have no corners. Opponent rushes per game is 23, which is ninth. Opponent rush yards per game is 46,
Hmm.
which is first. Opponent rush TDs per game is 1, which is 13th. When it comes to the passing statistics, opponent pass play percentage is 53.6, which is 12th. Opponent completion percentage is 60.87, which is 7th. Opponent yards per pass is 4.9, which is 6th. Opponent passes per game is 23, which is 5th. And opponent pass yards per game is 95. Wow.
Damn,
Second. Wow. And sack percentage is 11.54.
that's crazy. All those statistics were kind of crazy. I mean, it's week one, so but that's actually crazy. Um, Move on to individual player statistics here. This is all obviously just after 1 week. But Joe Flacco was 31 of 45 last week for 290 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. The 75 quarterback rating. Their main running back seems to be Dylan Sampson. 12 carries for 29 yards. That's good for 2.4 yards per carry. His longest was 5, and he had no touchdowns.
And his name is Dylan, too. I would be damned if we get torched by a running back named Dylan.
Yeah, if he has more than 2 yards on Sunday, we're pathetic. But anyways, Jerome Ford had 6 carries for 8 yards, which is good for 1.3
God,
yards
he
per carry.
sucks.
For two, his longest rush was 2 yards. Joe Flacco had 2 carries for 6 yards. He was freaking the best running back on the day. He had 3 yards per carry. His longest was 4 yards. And they had a tight end run once, whatever that means. I guess Judkins, whatever his name is, isn't ready yet. Quinshawn Judkins, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Quinshon Judkins. He's gonna
Anyways,
play against us.
no, he's not. I thought he wasn't.
Oh, I thought he was ready. Oh,
Well, I don't know, but I guess we'll see. But anyways, Jerry Judy had 5 catches on 8 targets, 66 yards. He hits 13.2 yards per carry, so or catch. He had no touchdowns. Dylan Sampson was their second leading receiver, 8 receptions on 8 targets for 64 yards. Harold Fannin Jr. Had 7 receptions on 9 targets for 63 yards. Cedric Tillman had 5 receptions on 8 targets for 52 yards and a touchdown. David Njoku had 3 receptions on 6 targets for 37 yards. Um, Jamari Thrash had 1 catch on 1 target for 6 yards. Isaiah Bond had 1 catch on 1 target for 5 yards, and Jerome Ford had 1 catch as well for -3 yards. So probably a busted screen. So that offense did not do anything last week. So I guess you can read off the defense here. Just I'm gonna do it like we're gonna do it like this. So just read off like the top like 6 on total tackles, and then we'll like just go by like leaders here, and we'll just do it like that from now on, so you don't have to read 1,000 guys at once.
all right. So
You know what I mean, by the way?
yeah, I got you.
All
Top
right.
6 on total tackles. All right. So
Okay.
Carson Schwezinger,
Yeah.
Schwezinger. He had 8 total tackles. Devin Bush had 7 total tackles. Isaiah McGuire,
McGuire.
McGuire, Toby McGuire. He had himself had 6 total tackles. Roddy Hickman had 5 total tackles. Miles Garrett had 5 total tackles. Wow, I'm not surprised to see him with those 2 sacks too.
You spoiled it.
Sorry. Grant Delpit had 4 total tackles. Mason Graham, who, the combination of him and Miles Garrett is kind of scary. So hopefully we game plan for that.
Mm,
He had three total tackles. Miles Harden had three total tackles. Mohamed Diabate had three total tackles, and Greg Newsome had three total tackles,
so how
and
many sacks?
Denzel Ward had two.
How many sacks they have last week? Can you read it?
What was that?
So
Oh,
you're gonna
sacks.
read it?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, sorry. Miles Garrett had two sacks, which I mentioned a couple minutes ago, or seconds ago.
I said, I don't know.
Isaiah McGuire had one sack, and that's it for the day when it came to sacks for them.
I don't think they caught any picks. No, they didn't. They had a few guys tackle for loss though. We'll just do that, I guess. They
Tackle
had
for
four
loss.
loss, damn, bro.
Miles Garrett had four tackles for loss. Isaiah McGuire. Wow, McGuire might be a demon that we need to watch out for as well. He had two tackles for loss. Devin Bush had a tackle for loss, and Carson Swessinger. I can't even lie. I've heard great things about Swessinger. Like they're really high on him, so
Yeah, it seemed
he
like
might be a
he was the
demon.
leading tackler last week, so we got to
Yeah,
see something we got to look out for. We know them white linebackers like to pick off Lamar.
yeah, they're like
Look at that boy. He's ready to pick him up. You went to UCLA? That's crazy. Anyways, do you want to do like the game predictions, or the NFL round predictions at the end, or you want to do them right now?
we can do him right now.
Right. I
We
should
can do
have
him right now.
had that NFL predictions. There's like a certain website, I think. I'm trying to think about what it was called. Is it Playoff Predictor?
See, Jared's secretly Eagles fan, guys. I know you saw that Philadelphia Eagles link he just had. He has a Saquon Barkley jersey in his closet.
Don't say that about me. Oh God, what's going on?
Is this a legit website? Seems like you're about to get
No, it
viral
is. I'm
soon.
telling you, it is. Now, here we go. There we go. So we're gonna start doing this from now on. We wanted to do it last week, but I didn't have it pulled up. I didn't even have it pulled up this week either. So I guess we can't predict the Thursday night game already happened. So
We knew he was going to win that game anyway.
right. So anyways, let's start in the AFC. Who do you think is gonna win between the Bills and Jets? I guess this is more of a TJ prediction.
Jets, no doubt.
Seriously?
Yeah,
All right. All right. Patriots, Dolphins,
Patriots.
Patriots. I'm gonna reset this and then I'm gonna do my own afterwards. Um, Jaguars, Bengals,
Jaguars.
Ugh. Ravens. I guess spoil
Ravens.
it. Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah. Okay. Broncos, Colts,
The Coast.
Coes.
I'm sorry, the Broncos.
Oh,
No,
the
the
Broncos.
Broncos.
I said the
I said,
Codes.
I said Coast. Like, yeah, okay.
Chargers, Raiders.
Chargers.
All right. Rams, Titans.
Rams.
Eagles, Seahawks. I mean Eagles. Yeah, I said that all wrong. Seahawks, Pittsburgh.
Tell you he's an Eagles fan, guys. I'm just saying. Um, I'll say the Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Yeah,
All right. Game of the week probably Eagles, Chiefs.
I think the Eagles are going to win this game.
Okay. Buccaneers, Texans.
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. Giants, Cowboys.
Cowboys win.
49ers, Saints.
Niners.
Bears, Lions.
For these next three games, I'm
Oh,
just going to pick the right side.
okay. Lions, Cardinals, Vikings. So let me take a picture of this so we can revisit this after, um, so I don't have to keep looking on the videos. Anyways, I'm gonna reset this here. I'm gonna do mine. So I think Bills versus Jets. I think the Bills are gonna win. Patriots, Dolphins. I think the Pats are gonna win. Jaguars, Bengals. I think the Bengals are gonna win. I think we're gonna beat the Browns. I think that the Cardinals beat the Cardinals. Yeah, that's the Cardinals. The Broncos beat the Colts. I think the Chargers beat the Raiders. I think the Titans upset the Rams. I think the Steelers upset the Seahawks. I don't know if that's an upset. I think the Chiefs narrowly beat the Eagles. Um, I think the Texans they get back to 500 here. I think that the Cowboys are going to destroy the Giants. I think 49ers are going to beat the Saints. I don't know. They have the backup in. Brock Purdy's hurt for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Um, I think that the Lions are going to beat the Bears. I think the Panthers beat the Cardinals, and I think that the Vikings beat the Falcons. That's my predictions of the week. I'm already 1-0 because I predicted the Giants. I mean the Packers to. So now I'm playing, but I guess since we already have our predictions and we both think the Ravens are going to win, so you give your breakout player, your bold prediction, and your score of the game, and then I'll do the same over here.
My breakout player. I said my breakout. My breakout player. I'll say for this game, I want to see it. I want to see some. I want to see a sack from Odafe. I think last game, he knows that he didn't play to his standards. He knows that he could have done a lot better. I feel like in this game he's going to, 2 sacks, and that kind of is a bold prediction itself. But I'll do another one for a bold prediction. I'll say Derrick Henry has 120 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns.
Okay,
And I'll say for my overall score, say the Ravens win 24-10.
that's fair. I think that's fair. So for my bold prediction, I think my bold prediction is Travis Jones will get 5 tackles for losses. Um, I think he's going to break through the offensive line a few times, stuff their running back for no or a loss. Obviously, it's tackle for loss. My breakout player is going to be Andrews. I think that he doesn't get a lot of yards in the day, but I do think he gets 2 touchdowns. Um, and my overall score prediction, I think that the Ravens win, obviously. I think they win 27-13. So I'm kind of on the same as you. I'm just 3 more up. 27-13 is my final score. So
Yeah.
you got any keys to the game?
Keys to the game. I would just say the offensive line needs to be solid.
Yeah.
Miles Garrett is a superstar, so he's obviously going to get his.
Yeah, I've seen
But well, hopefully he doesn't hit Lamar too hard. But he's obviously going to get his. He's a great player, and they got Mason Graham and they got McGuire, so they have a pretty good defensive line.
Sweatshirt.
But oh yeah, and Schlesinger, but and linebackers too, defensive line and linebackers, secondary too. They have a pretty good defense on paper. I mean, they're good, but offensive line that we can win in the trenches, I feel like we'll be good. So that's the key.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I mean, that's a perfect way to 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 say it, you know. But I really, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't want to come back here next week and talk about how we're 0-2. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah,
very, that's gonna really, I mean, starting 0-2 kind of really derails your season because not derails your season, but it puts you on very harder, unnecessarily hard path because you can't really lose too many games down the stretch anymore if you want to be the top 2 seeds, you know. So I mean, we saw that very clearly. You know, if we had won maybe that Raiders game, you know, we'd be playing that game in Baltimore that we played at Buffalo, you know. So it's just these things that we cannot lose to the Browns. And I said this in our prediction schedule, our schedule prediction video, or whatever it was. Can't lose to these dumb teams, man. You know, we can't.
yep,
So, and we gotta evoke some fear over the season because can't be having teams talking. Nobody would have been talking crazy when Ray Lewis and Reed was here. And if they were, they would have forgotten that they played that game because they would have woke up in a hospital.
yep. So we got to
So
evoke that same fear that they had. We got to bring it back.
hitting hard, turnovers. If the ball, first of all, there's another thing. If the ball's thrown to you, please catch the ball. All of our defensive backs and whatever, please catch the ball. We had too many drop picks last week. Could have ended the game or whatever. But get to the ball, run fast, physical, hit hard, make the stops, make them scared, all that stuff. Work your ass off, beat the Browns.
Yep. I couldn't agree much more, man. I just got to get it done.
Yep,
So, that's I think that's all we got for this video. Any last words?
beat the Browns.
The Browns. I like it. That's all we got for this video. We're gonna look to improve to 1-1 and move on. Week 3 gonna be special. Bank at night. Ooh, I can't. I don't even have a lot of words, bro. I just want to be there. I just want to teleport there. We're 1-1. We're about to be 2-1. Beat the Lions. Move on to the Chiefs. That's where I want to be teleported. But we got a little bit of ways to go. But that's what we got for you guys in this video. Make sure to check out our social medias, and also make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Trying to get to 200 subscribers. We're so close. Hopefully after the butt whooping we put on the Browns, we can get 6 more Ravens followers, subscribers on this page. And, comment down below, what you think about this game. What are your keys to victory? Who are your breakout players and bold predictions? Comment that down below. And, also check out our second channel, Casual Cinema. We're going to be seeing him soon, hopefully next week. So, make sure stay tuned for that. But that's all we got for you guys today. We're Birds Spray Sports. We're out.
We're out.